In this week's episode, it's the end of the world as we know it. Wait, what? No, not really, but it is the time of the year most dreaded by theme park goers. The price increases. We've got all the changes you need to know about and, of course, our reactions. There was some Disney Parks news this past weekend out of the D23 Expo, but where did that happen? And how did we not hear about this? We now know when the Pixar Pier will be opening at least. Also, Kim Possible, Greatest American Hero, Disney Home Store, and more on this surprising episode of the MousePIRE Podcast.
I'm Anthony.
I'm Diggs.
I'm Tim.
I'm Dan.
Welcome to MousePIRE, your source for Disney, Star Wars, and everything in between. This is the podcast where both empires collide. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the MousePIRE Podcast.
What's going on? Uh-oh.
The apprentice lives.
What is this?
You best start believing in ghost stories, Miss Turner. You're in one.
Bring up me hardly show up.
You never had a friend like me.
Some imagination, huh?
Made you look.
We have liftoff. Yeah, happy Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, Mardi Gras.
I thought we were supposed to go to Fuddruckers today.
You
they had
never.
that 3-pound hamburger at Fuddruckers today.
Oh, wow.
You pay $24.95. You get a 3-pound hamburger, a pound of fries, and if you eat it all, you get a $20 gift certificate or gift card back and a shirt. So
Wow.
basically, it's paid for once you if you eat it all in what was it, an hour, right?
You guys just started already off topic.
I know. Well,
We don't have a topic yet.
Oh, okay. There's no topic.
The topic is Fat Tuesday.
Yeah, there you go.
hey, you
Okay.
want to know what my top? Oh, hold on.
Mai Tai.
I was gonna say. I was gonna press this and then it doesn't do anything. You know what's off topic?
Blip, blappity bloop.
So yeah, the topic is Fat Tuesday because it is Fat Tuesday, and I got fat on the way over here. I actually stopped at Applebee's because I had a craving for some mozzarella sticks.
They do have good mozzarella sticks.
They do have good mozzarella sticks.
And he was just talking about mozzarella sticks yesterday.
We've been talking about it for the last 3 days.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So yeah, I stopped there to get some of that, and I was like, oh, you know what? It's Fat Tuesday, so I'm gonna get fat on some mozzarella
Hey,
sticks.
no, let's see if it. Oh, okay. On the mozzarella sticks, I was going to see if you really got fat on Fat Tuesday and did the 2 for $25 for yourself.
No,
That's fat.
I would have, but I kind of hard to eat and drive, you know.
Yeah.
But it was pretty cool. Anyway, yeah.
Wait, we started the show?
No,
We said that
just
already.
checking.
Oh,
That was another episode, but apparently...
Okay.
Oh, yeah, Tim's here, in case it wasn't obvious.
I feel like I sound different.
maybe because you're under the weather still.
Yes.
You got those thunderstorm clouds over your head.
Oh, by the way, Dan's here.
Dan the
hi.
man.
Yeah.
Dan the man, and Dan gunning for the mailman.
Hey, someone else is gunning for that too, but we'll
Yeah,
get that.
we'll
We'll get to that later because I got a
wow.
message today about that.
All right, go for it. I was
Dan,
just
you
teasing.
wrote an email, right?
No, I'm going to have to do it right now because
Okay,
I can
good.
get it in before we get to the emails.
Because otherwise you won't be able to be part of the battle to the death
Right.
for the mail
Yeah.
position.
But I want to change the name. I want it to be the electronic mail carrier. That sounded
How
cool.
does that rhyme?
I don't know.
I don't know either. All right, so we're going to get on topic by discussing the very, very biggest news that we had this weekend. And we didn't, we gave everyone heads up that this was going to happen. And the prices, of course, at Disneyland and Walt Disney World went up on Sunday. And, of course, you know what? No matter what happens, what price goes up, what goes down, what stays the same, you're going to get people complaining.
Up,
So
down, touch the ground. Oh.
exactly. So a lot of people complaining, and I don't know. You know what? When the prices go up, when that happens, I get a lot of, because I do run 2 pages, and I get a lot of comments, and then like the whole day is me answering questions or commenting or telling people to quit complaining.
Copy and paste, listen to the podcast.
Oh my God. I'm just like, it wears me out.
I want to testify. I want to testify. I want to testify.
Testify.
Get the tables.
Yes, exactly.
Testify.
In 2014,
testify.
This guy Diggs told me in sometime in May. He's like, "Hey, prices are going to go up." At the time, I didn't have my pass. I hadn't had a pass in a while. He told me, "Hey, prices are going to go up on this Sunday." I'm like, "Oh, really? Are you sure?" He's like, "Yeah, I got good connections." I didn't know nothing about pages and info and hookups and stuff. So I went ahead and I was like, "Hey, you know what? I think it's time to get my pass back." And I signed up for my pass on Saturday. And sure enough, prices went up on Sunday, just like he said they would, despite all the people on his page, which I was new to back then, and all these people saying that naysayers and stuff. And you know what? Ever since then, and since I got involved with that page back in 2014, 15, all that time, every time we said that the prices were going to go up, we'd have 20, 30 people telling us, "Well, Disneyland, I called the Disneyland. They said there's no prices going up." I don't know why everybody became Foghorn Leghorn all of a sudden, but that's the way it is.
It was Farmer Prow from The Water Boy.
Oh, yes.
The Cajun.
I don't know. Either way, somehow or another, these people were always complaining and talking about how they call Disneyland, and they're just totally missing the point of why we're telling people. And it kind of came to a head, even though we're down to this year only 2 people, right?
2 or 3, maybe.
I saw 2. If there was a third one, I missed it. 2 people, well, then the same guy repeated on 2 different pages, but we were
our 2 pages. That is
right. We're down to what I consider. We've weeded out the naysayers.
I agree.
And the skeptics by this point, and it's good. So I'm happy, but I did have to unleash on a guy who was being stupid. And basically, my point is that you can complain all you want about prices. You can question the authenticity of our information about prices going up all you want. But what it comes down to is we're doing a service for our listeners / blog Facebook followers, whatever followers. We're doing a service by telling you that prices are going to go up. What you do with that information is your business. We're telling you so hopefully you can have a chance to upgrade or get a pass before the prices go up. That's why we're telling you. We're not telling people to invite arguments, complaints, wah-wahs about the prices going up or any of that shit. We're doing it as a service to those people who actually care about wanting to either renew their passes or anything else that they could do before the prices go up. That's who we are posting for, not anybody else. And yeah.
Yeah, America.
Yeah.
Testify.
All right, so real quick, I just want to say that the rumors were coming out probably weeks before saying
about 2 weeks ago, yeah,
prices were going to go up on the 11th. You know, I saw that, but you know, a lot of what other people do are what they do. They will see that and they'll start posting everywhere. Prices are going up. Prices are going up. I'm not going to do that until I have confirmation, knowing for a fact that this is going to happen. So that's why I posted. We have confirmation from a reliable source that this is happening. I'm not going to go and say, "Oh, it's happening because other people are posting it's going to happen."
Now you had it. I saw it. Well, the couple of days before, a bunch of people have been posting. Okay, because it's been 99% confirmed that it's going to go up on Sunday. So I saw a bunch of that. But then you were one of the first ones I saw that actually had the prices. Because you got it. What time did you get that up?
No, the prices. Well, I got them at I don't know, midnight or whatever.
Yeah, right as they came out.
Well, I think a lot of people got confused because originally you had posted the Walt Disney World prices.
No, I never posted prices.
Oh, you never posted those?
No, he only did that. When he posted prices, because I was there the day...
I get confused because he texts me stuff too. So
yeah.
I was there the day that they started with the new prices. But I went Sunday, but I went in the evening. But I had seen his post when I woke up in the morning, and it was from hours before.
Oh, by that time it was too late.
What?
No. He's saying when he got up that Sunday morning, he saw the prices. No, I posted it as soon as they came out, and you know,
basically around as soon as almost every time the prices go up, without fail, the pricing website will kind of just go off.
No, well, we had talked about going because I almost went Saturday, and I almost met up. We were talking about maybe meeting up if he was down there. So I'd actually thought, were you up at the board when the prices changed on the board?
Oh, that's why you asked me that.
Yeah, that's why I asked you that.
No, I think every year he just sits there and refreshes the page until the prices start to appear.
I don't know. Some people got the prices quick. It took me forever to refresh and look at them. So anyway.
Because then people started posting the wrong prices because they were like half done.
But do they charge tax?
Only in Florida.
Oh, okay.
So
That's weird.
Yeah, no, huh?
Well, it's just weird. It's weird because they don't do it here. The cities waive the taxes here. But in Florida, they do charge tax on everything, including admission. So it's a strange...
Bedfellow?
No, it's different coming from one place to the other where it's a very different experience.
Dirty Florida hanging chads.
All right, do we need to go over the prices or should people just already know what they are?
It's numbers.
All right, but what I do...
We don't do math. We had this discussion.
But what I do want to go over is the fact that now there is no discounts on renewals.
Yeah, that's a couple of important things.
That's true?
Yes, that's true.
That was in the OC Register article. So
OC Register said it, and people have asked Disney on Twitter, and they replied saying, no, there's not.
And people are also called Disney and was verified over the phone.
Yeah, honestly, guys, if I would have known that there was going to be no renewal discount, then we would have done something different. Because Elizabeth's Pass, it expires, I think, around the 1st of April. And you have to be within 45 days or something?
40.
Now it's 40. Okay, so it was 45 days. But you have to be within 40 days. So if they'd done that, I just would have gotten her pass on a different credit card as not a renewal, just a new pass, and then starts on first use, and then let hers expire.
Is that Signature Plus?
She has Signature now, but
well, if you would have let it expire, you would have lost PhotoPass on hers, but
not on the Plus.
No, not on the Signature though. You would have.
Right. But she's supposed to upgrade to get the Plus anyway.
Well, then it wouldn't matter. Then yeah, you should have just let it expire.
I mean, I think that's what they're going to get.
I don't want to ask about the math, but I'm lost what you're talking about.
With no renewal discount,
here we go.
they're going to get... I think they're going to get a lot of people to just let their passes lapse, and then they get them whenever.
Yeah, obviously, because, I mean, other than, say, like the grandfathered stuff, which the only thing really grandfathered right now is the PhotoPass on Signature passes. Other than that...
Parking? Is parking just with the Signature and above?
Is parking still...
it's not with lower, but like...
Is grandfathered... If it's still grandfathered as an add-on for deluxe and stuff, or did they get rid of it?
If you already have it, you still you'll have it.
Okay, so people who have deluxe and stuff, they're still grandfathered to be able to add parking.
If they had parking before.
Which you can't do anymore if you have a new pass.
Right.
So certain situations like that, yes, it's not good for you to let it lapse. But in the cases of just like a regular, if you were going to upgrade to a Signature Plus from anything else, then yeah, you should just let it lapse and get a new pass.
Now, I want to say real quick, speaking of PhotoPass, people are under the impression that PhotoPass has been taken away from the Signature Plus.
Why?
Because they don't see it on there saying PhotoPass when they have the option. What you get with this pass, it doesn't say PhotoPass.
Why not?
Because they don't understand that wording was taken out when MaxPass came. Because it's available.
PhotoPass is included with MaxPass.
Exactly. So when you look and see what's included when it says discounts, parking, and it says MaxPass.
That's just for the Plus, though. Not the...
We already said that.
Yeah.
But
with just Signature, it must say
Tim, please stop being his brother. Put the phone away.
What I'm trying to say...
Please pay attention.
What I'm trying to say is that... Forget it.
So... Since it doesn't say PhotoPass on there, people are thinking, oh my God, they took away PhotoPass. And then people say, well, if you have it already, your grandfather in, if you have a Signature Plus. So I'm telling people, no, it's already there. It's under MaxPass because the PhotoPass comes with MaxPass.
You already said that.
So, no, I didn't. So people are just like, not really, paying attention or didn't actually see that was taken off, that wording was taken off when MaxPass was introduced.
Well, just like if you get a regular Signature that's doesn't have PhotoPass grandfathered in, but you add on MaxPass, then you get
right.
Of course, if you're gonna, how much is did they raise the MaxPass?
No, it's still $10 if you buy it that day. If you don't have it, you can buy it.
How much is it for the add-on for Signature?
It's still $75.
$75. So that we're going to raise to $1,074. So at that point, you might as well pay the another $75 and get a Signature Plus.
That's what I'm going to do.
Because it's pretty stupid, especially if you want Max Pass.
Exactly.
All right, next thing I want to get to is that if you are going to purchase a annual pass, you don't have one, you're not renewing, first time getting one.
You're not going to do it now. It's too expensive.
Or if it's not too expensive for you, they changed the down payment amount. Now it's $147 down.
Oh.
Before it was $95.
Yeah, you had to put 97, I think, down or something like that.
I think it was $95. I think it was cheaper than the one-day ticket. So,
but now you have to put $147 down.
Yeah, so it's $147 down.
$50 difference at least.
Yeah.
Now, what I want to bring up is the fact that, once again, people are thinking, I have to put $147 down to renew.
No, you don't have to put anything down to renew.
Well,
but your payment reflects that.
Yeah, exactly.
People are thinking that, and they're thinking, oh my God, now I have to put $147 to renew because, it's getting out there. It's for $147 down payment for a pass. So they're thinking that they have to put this money down to renew, and no, you don't. It's the same rules as before.
You know what? I would just let those people keep thinking that because,
Well, you know what?
You should put that much down at least if you want your frickin' payments to stay the same.
Right.
You should put down the down payment every year.
If you want your payments to stay the same, you got to put the same amount of money down without any increases.
Well, actually, you have to put more money down.
Right. Well,
because
the prices.
Let me just throw some math at you that this guy did.
Hey.
Well, I know. We don't do math here, but he made an exception. He actually did some math.
On a calculator or on a piece of paper or an abacus?
I used the abacus. And my feet.
So some quick math.
2 + 2 is 4.
That Diggs came up with. If you want to get a Signature Plus, and you want your payments to be $60, which is basically what payments for the Signature used to be, what I was paying.
Real quick, this is the way I figured it out because this is what I'm paying right now.
Yeah,
I want to keep the same payment.
We talked about this yesterday.
You're paying that right now because you did how much of a down payment last time, though?
I don't remember.
You did a big down payment.
Yeah,
you did bigger than you need to.
Yes.
So, if you want to have a payment of $60 on a Signature Plus, you would need to put down $420.
Ooh.
If you want to get a Signature Pass with payments of $60, which is basically what you would have before if you had put down a down payment of, I think, $120-ish, you would have to put down $279.
That's a big jump.
It is a big jump.
Yeah. That's why Knott's Berry Farm's bathrooms are going to be clean now.
What?
Everybody's hopping over there.
So yeah,
it's just crazy the amount. I mean,
their bathrooms will never be clean. I met the people that used to clean.
They're gross, dude.
I agree that this amount of money is getting to be a little bit ridiculous. Elizabeth brought up this last week. She's, at what point is it too much? And I said, well, I mean, for me, there isn't a point where it's too much. But
I saw the great point was made. It was pointed out that as long as there's no off season,
right,
then they have no reason to not raise prices.
It's true.
Because right now, it is collectively, prior to May of 2015, we have never reverted back to that kind of off-season we had prior to the beginning of the 60th.
Yeah.
We have never had crowds go back to that point. They've been pretty consistent ever since the 60th ended. I mean, sure, you've had dead days, but on a regular basis, the park has been busier. There is no off season anymore, and the point is that as long as there's no off season, why should they stop raising prices? They will keep raising prices as long as people will keep paying.
It's not only that though. That
and as long as all the other theme parks are willing to keep raising the prices as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think Universal's the only one that's on Disney's heels, so to speak, as far as prices go.
Usually, Universal's raising their price first.
No, I don't mean about raising prices. I mean just about keeping the level of how high.
Well, because Universal, going all the way back to way before I even worked at Universal, has always had the mentality. I don't know where they got it from, because it's unwarranted 100% that their 100% competition is Disneyland.
Yeah, that's
it's not.
Not exactly
They're
the
two
case,
completely different places.
Yeah. I mean, in Florida, I'd say that Disney...
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Magic Kingdom and Islands of Adventure
but there's no way that Universal Studios here is even, they're not even competition for Disneyland.
No.
I mean, that's why I think it's so surprising, and that's why I make such a huge deal all the friggin' time about why is Universal way up here in the stratosphere when it comes to security and how they run their security and do deal with security at Universal compared to Disneyland, which is way down here somewhere dwelling with the robot devil.
Any theme park that's going to run a promotion that's buy a day, get a year free. You're not living up
That's
to
what they
Disney's level.
used to.
Hey, but you know what? The buy a day, you get a year free at Universal, that's freaking old school because they were doing that.
They were doing it a long time ago.
That started when I was working there.
That's
early 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000. I was doing it.
It started actually. I'll be truthful with you. It was 9/11 that caused the buy a day, get a year free. Because
that was about that time.
Attendance went down after 9/11, and it was 2002 is when they started the buy a day, get a year free.
The other thing you got when you talk about money is you look at what you get for that money. And yeah, I mean, it's expensive, but I just went to SeaWorld last week. I bought them online, so it was $70 to get a ticket. They close at 5 p.m.
And but they also get a whole year for that price too, right?
Well, clearly,
I did, but yeah, you can.
Hey, to be honest, clearly SeaWorld's a deal because Michael's always there.
No, it is, and it's actually like their coasters and stuff. Wow, I was actually pretty impressed. I'm too fat to get on some of them, but that's dirty in itself. But they close at 5, so how can you justify me paying? I'm not going to do it every time. That's why I would go for a pass if I was going to do something like that for only $100 because it's not a day park. We did most everything there, and I was only there from 10 to 5.
So we can expect Universal will probably be raising their prices if they didn't already, and we didn't hear about it.
We just didn't care.
I'm sure. No, I'm sure we would have heard about it.
This isn't the Universal podcast.
Well, it should be happening any time now if Disneyland just raised theirs. So I mean, Universal's got monkey see, monkey do.
I was looking up right now one of the people I saw that posted about the price increases, and my responses. So this woman says, "God, this is bullshit. They raised our passes to $850 last year, and now they're raising it to $1,000. This is such bullshit." As a pass holder,
she said that already.
Yeah, exactly. As a pass holder of 17 years, I'm extremely appalled and disgusted that they do this to wonderful patrons such as ourselves. And I can say with the utmost certainty that Walt Disney himself would also be appalled and turning over in his grave
Don't start
right
me on
now.
that one. Don't start me on that one.
Well, this is the kind of stuff that we hear every time, right?
Yeah.
So I just want, in my opinion, this and the responses I get to this cover this example pretty good. He says he built he'd be turning over in his grave right now.
Is that because he's buried near the San Andreas Fault?
Well, exactly.
Okay.
He built the park for people and families to enjoy, and there's no way that he would be charging pass holders this much if he were still alive today. So I said he didn't build the park for people to go 2 to 3 days a week or even once a month. What's ruining Disneyland is everyone that needs to go all the time. And she says, I believe that he did build it for people like me and my friends. I'm sorry you think it's wrong that I love Disneyland so much, and that I would like to go and escape reality once or twice a week.
And I suppose he built it specifically for the White Rabbits, too.
Well, I think she might be one of them.
Kyle.
Nonetheless, I said, you're so missing the point. And you've also forgotten that the population is drastically increased in Southern California. I'm sorry.
Can I just say real quick that I know Dan's thinking the same thing. I'm really sick and tired of that everybody seems to know what Walt would think.
Of course.
Yeah, I hate that.
Well,
number one, these people clearly know nothing about Walt because number one, and it's the only thing I'm going to say about that, there's a reason why Walt put Roy in charge of the business.
Right.
Because
he was not good with money.
Walt was not good with money, and he wasn't good with how things should be. He was the face.
Yeah.
He's like the line in Schindler's List.
If you haven't read a book, Walt was known to be one who would make fun of people,
right,
and stuff. He wasn't the angel everybody makes him out to be.
No, he wasn't. But it's like that line in Schindler's List where he says, "I'm not good with not the money, the presentation."
Yeah.
Walt was good with the presentation of Disney. Roy was the mastermind. Walt Disney World never would have happened if it hadn't been for Roy.
No, agreed.
That's because Walt died.
Yeah, that's exactly why. I go on to tell her that I'm sorry that you don't realize that you and people like you are the problem in this situation, and so are we.
Internet fight.
So are we. I made sure I was clear on that. I go all the time too, but that's not with how the park wasn't built to think that everybody in Southern California, 1 million plus people, are going to be going there multiple times weekly.
Yeah, but you know what? To be honest, the people like us though, we're not the problem because we're not going on rides.
That's the other.
Speak for yourself.
Okay, I mean, but
no, I know. I've been with you.
No, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah.
We're not there. We're not there every single time going on all the rides.
Yeah, we don't feel the need to go on every single ride every single day.
Rides, whereas a lot of your pass holders that do feel the need to go on rides just because part of the whole group has to go on the ride together, or let's all go to the Cove and get drunk and then go on rides.
Yeah. I went on to tell her that there's simply not enough space at Disneyland for every asshole that wants to go twice a week. Now they have to raise prices to price people out of going.
They don't have to learn how to meet cast members and get into stuff.
Well, no, but I mean, they have to make it so that you and your family can't afford $4,000 or $5,000 a year, so you just drop your passes, and somebody that can afford it is the one that comes in, and that's their mentality.
I know, I understand.
Somebody else comes on and says they are on her side because money's not an issue for him. He goes every Sunday to unwind, and points out that I used to be a pass holder myself. And I said, hey, I don't disagree with that, but I don't go like I used to. And I'm mainly because I'm not trying to be part of the problem. I'll keep paying the money, though, because I care about being able to go when I want to go. And I'm just happy that so many other people aren't going to be renewing their passes.
You know what? I have a pass. I go when I want. I buy what I want.
Yeah.
I get it when I want.
Because you earn your money and you have the ability to do that.
Yeah.
If you want to take so much percentage of your yearly salary or whatever and do that, that's your choice.
I just want to say this, and we should probably move on after this. I just want to say that a lot of people, including pass holders, assume that pass holders are the problem. I don't think that's necessarily true.
Well, no, Disney created the pass holder
program.
no,
I think Disney wants everybody to believe that the pass holders are the problem. We walk around the parks all the time. How many 90% of the people that we see walking are clearly people that aren't pass holders.
They're the ones with the rose gold jerseys?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking.
We see that clearly there's plenty of people that aren't pass holders at Disneyland.
Yeah.
I think Disneyland wants...
It's known. You can tell the difference.
I think Disneyland wants everybody to blame the pass holders and think the pass holders are the problem. That's the reason why they won't give out the true pass holder numbers.
Right. I was going to say that.
That has to do with stock.
Unfounded number.
Well, I mean, they
also don't announce how many churros they sell in a day either.
Disneyland doesn't give out any numbers at all.
That's true, though, too. Disneyland doesn't do math.
I mean, Disneyland doesn't give out any numbers. I mean, we've always had to guess what capacity was. I mean, back in the 90s, we always thought capacity, like that time at the electrical parade, we thought capacity... Supposedly, it was going around. Capacity at the time was 100,000, but now we hear
like 85.
That it's closer to less than that. But the park's bigger than it was back in the 90s, so who knows how that shit works? But point is that I really think
people got fatter.
That too. I really think that Disneyland is allowing pass holders to be made to be scapegoats for the crowd problem.
I just want to say real quick that I had a friend who worked at the corn dog cart. And in her shift, she made 700 corn dogs. Wow. That's a lot of corn dogs.
So multiply that at least by the 3 different locations they sell those
No, you got to do math. You got to figure out how long the shift was.
That's just one shift. That's,
That full shift?
So double that in a day.
There you go.
So 1,400 times 3. I only know what 1,400 times 2 is 2,800. What's the third one? The teacher help.
I don't know.
36.
There you go.
So
no, that's not right.
3,600 corn dogs at an average of about $6 a piece.
Wait, 14, you said? 14 times
20,
3?
No.
That's 32?
Okay. I was off by 4.
28. So 38.
No, 42. I don't know.
It's 40,
so to wrap up,
I'm on vacation.
4,200 corn dogs times about $6 a piece.
Okay, so I'm just going to I just want something to really think about real quick is that Disneyland, or everybody assumes that the problem is pass holders and that they're raising prices to price the pass holders out. So that way there's less pass holders.
Well, no, it's just a matter of population control.
The truth is they're not pricing out pass holders because the pass holders are taking over the park. They want to price out the pass holders because they want to make room for the people paying more individual
exactly.
tickets.
Yeah, exactly.
And if they're going to keep
And
pass
it's
holders,
clear-
they want them to be the ones that can afford
it's
stuff.
It's clear that the park is making lots of money on single and multi-day tickets as opposed to the passes. And I think that the pass holder numbers are probably lower than what, because there's been estimates million. Isn't there a guess?
There was an estimate of $1 million, and then it has to be lower than that now.
I've heard 1.2 was like at the peak.
See, I think that's all bullshit. I think it's all just them. It's just they let those numbers leak out because that's what they want you to believe. I don't think the numbers are really that high. I don't think the pass holders are the problem.
I don't know. There's like 20 million people within 100 miles of the park.
There is, but not everybody wants to go to the park. And we have people that show up on pages complaining about prices that clearly don't even go to Disneyland. It's like, well, where the hell did you freaking come from to begin with? Why are you even here?
Bye.
Do I know you? Bye.
Well, people have been complaining for what 8 to 10 years. They've been saying, "Oh, Disneyland's too expensive."
Remember when passes were $99?
Well, and you know what? All those people are complaining, and they continue to complain. But you know what? People continue to keep going to Disneyland, and it's not just the pass holders. That's my point. Stop blaming the pass holders. It's not the pass holders' problem. Disneyland wants you to blame the pass holders.
Well,
Disneyland is kind of like Republicans. They want you to blame the Democrats.
10 years ago, you could get a pass for like about $400, and it was the premium, the best one. You can go every day of the year, and you only needed to go like 6 times or something, basically, to pay for it, to make it worth your money.
Now you got to go like twice.
Well, now what would it be really with
a 1 day 1 park hopper?
Yeah,
is $185
at the peak.
No, peak days.
At the peak.
Peak
What's
days.
the cheapest day? 117 or something.
Cheap days didn't even go up.
Yeah.
The cheapest one day ticket didn't even go up.
Right. The one day one park didn't go up.
The 1 day they had the 1 day park hopper actually went down $10.
Yeah, it was the only one that went down.
It was the only one that went down. So I mean, hey, for all of you that are complaining about park prices, the last thing that's going to be said, one price did go down. Screw you.
All right, real quick, I want to say that this resort spokesman Susie Brown did warn that changes are coming to the annual pass program sometime this year. So there's gonna be a lot more bitching and complaining, and we gotta see what that is.
I'm gonna make a prediction that they're gonna do something pretty surprising to the pass.
I believe so too.
You know what was surprising? There was a D23 this last weekend Expo.
Lies.
No, I'm serious.
Oh, really?
In Tokyo.
Wait a minute. I wasn't invited.
Wait, was it in Tokyo?
Yes.
Did they have a money bin?
You know what? I don't know. I didn't see any pictures out of it.
All right.
I didn't even know this was happening until like the day it started.
Right, exactly.
It's like all of a sudden. But you know what? They've had D23 Japan before.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
They've had it before. It's nothing new. I know that they've had it 2 or 3 years ago or something, right?
I believe so.
I think it was before. They had one in between. I think the 13 and 15. So I think they might have been 1 and 14 or something like. Yeah, good job on the math.
Thanks.
So yeah, I didn't even know this was happening. All of a sudden, I started seeing Disney Twitter pages start posting about the D23 Expo Japan. I'm like, whoa, that's interesting. I wonder if there'll be anything interesting to come out of it. Well, we got a few things that we already knew. We got some pictures on some stuff we already knew about, but we did get some interesting things that we didn't know about.
I saw a cool video of them walking through the archive. Stuff I've already seen, but still cool.
Yes.
So what's the new info?
Well, one of the first things is we're gonna talk about Florida real quick, because back at D23 Expo, Star Wars. Where was it they announced the Star Wars hotel? That was at D23 in 15, right? The last one.
It was this one.
Last year's, right? Yeah. Last year's D23 Expo, they announced the Star Wars inspired hotel for Walt Disney World. Well, they announced at D23 Expo Japan that hotel will connect seamlessly with Galaxy's Edge at Hollywood Studios. So it's obviously a foregone conclusion then that hotel is going to be built basically right on the backside of Hollywood Studios to connect with Star Wars.
So just
Galaxy's
like the Grand
Edge.
Californian here.
Basically, yeah, like how the Grand Californian connects to...
So presumably you could leave the hotel and walk right into Star Wars Land.
Yes.
Yeah,
Well,
Galaxy's Edge.
Right.
I would have presumed that they would have been... where else would they put it? A mile away?
It was assumed that might happen, but we weren't fully sure. this obviously is confirmation that's going to happen. So, and to go along with your full immersive experience that we already talked about last year with the Star Wars Hotel in Florida, you're going to have your full immersive thing, and you're going to be able to actually take that full immersive experience that you're paying for in the hotel and take it outside into actual Star Wars Galaxy's Edge itself.
I don't know what you're looking at there, but from what I've read earlier today and yesterday is that the experience with the hotel will start with you arriving, and then there'll be some sort of, I don't want to say like mini attraction, where everybody that's checking in loads into a room that is like a spaceship, and they literally, the check-in starts by you flying to your destination. Now, it may be like it
might be something similar to what they did in Star Wars or Star Trek: The Experience in Vegas. They had like a room where you go into and you felt like you were in a shuttle or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
It could
Star
just
Tours Light.
It may not even be something as much as that. It could be just like a little walking thing that you feel like you're doing something. But
or maybe it's the elevator going to your room.
Right, the elevator going to your room. Maybe it's a big elevator.
Not novel concept.
Right.
I mean, I
just want to know the Cantina band plays.
I think that it makes sense if they're going to have everybody arrive, and then you wait around the lobby. They're going to take your bags for you up to your room or whatever, or store your bags, because it's the experience is supposed to include your clothing for the 2 days.
Right.
Because they're limiting everybody to 2-day stays, I think, or at least set stays. So
wait, are they going to give me clothes like they do in those Japanese places with those slippers and stuff?
They would. Wow. I think maybe you bring your own shoes, but
Jedi robes.
Everybody wears the same outfits, or maybe by pre-chosen whatever.
Well, there's books about that. I don't know.
Okie dokie. But I'm sure that once they take your bags and do whatever, they have everybody meet back at the lobby at a set time, 3 p.m. or whatever. They go into the special room. Maybe it's just like the lobby of Tower, where it's, you watch something on a screen. Maybe it's more immersive than that. I don't know, but it makes sense. Everybody
if you're trying
goes
to check
their
into a
rooms.
hotel, I don't picture them making it too complicated, because you're still, no matter how you break it down, no matter how immersive it is, you're still just checking into a hotel, and people are probably still have just come off of a flight, or they're going to be tired. Most people trying to check into hotels don't want to get too much rigmarole. But
did you say rigmarole?
I sure did.
I thought you said cinnamon roll.
Ooh,
rigmarole.
Sounds good. I mean, I don't see them getting too much into it, like with a saying.
They better for the amount of money that's going to cost per night.
I mean, I agree with that.
I can't even justify the Grand Californian. I can't imagine what the Star Wars hotel is going to be like.
They're going to try to get people to put that experience like in the middle of a vacation. So if you're there for 7 days, then you'll take the 2 days in the center, or maybe on the end or something. That would they make it, not your first arrival day, maybe something like that. Yeah. I'm sure they'll have longer experiences if somebody really wants to do 4 days, but they'll probably, I think it's more likely they're going to limit everybody to 2 days, and they're going to try to tailor the experience to the minute. You'll have 4 hours a day to go mess around in the park, or 5 hours a day to go mess around in the park, or just Star Wars area. And the rest of it is you going back to the hotel and having Star Wars meals, having
blue milk.
Yeah, you're having your blue milk. You're having the kids learn to be stormtrooper training while the adults go to the cantina and have a drink. I think they're going to tailor it where you don't have a lot of free time, which will limit the amount of people too. A lot of people don't like to have that. It's like where you have to pre-choose your attractions super far in advance.
How will the do not disturb signs be worded?
Probably in what's the language called?
Arabish, is that right?
Arabish. Yeah. Whatever it is on the tag.
The Galactic Empire requests entrance upon your room at any given time.
Yeah.
That's funny. Well, just like anything else, we will surely hear more information between now and then, so definitely keep an eye out for that, especially if it's something you'd be interested in doing. We also got news about something that affects about Galaxy's Edge itself. We talked about some time ago about the announcement that most of your wares and merchandise in Galaxy's Edge what will be pretty much kind of like what they kind of handmade type of stuff, almost like
a little more like what Avatar's doing, right?
Right. So more of like you'd go to like a bazaar or something in Marrakesh, and you'd get like wares from traders.
Not items that have external packaging.
Right. Exactly. Which is what like it made to the point I was making last week about how none of the merchandise from like Star Trader or anywhere is going to move to Galaxy's Edge because it's all going to be that in-world merchandise. Well, they gave a little sneak peek at some of that at D23 Japan, and specifically a Toydarian, who, of course, if you don't know, Toydarian is what Watto in The Phantom Menace was. I'm a Toydarian. Only money.
Weren't there some in the Senate, too?
Yes, there was also some in the Senate. They are a...
Did we talk about this before with the Porgs?
We talked about
the Adopt-A-Porg,
the Adopt-A-Porg,
right?
but we said that was going to be similar to the thing in Avatar.
Right, where it's like
the
a
thing
kind
on
of
your
a puppet,
shoulder. Yeah,
kind
the
of a puppet thing. Yeah,
I'm down.
Likely.
Yeah, I'm going to do that.
You're totally
Right.
addicted to the Porgs.
I'm addicted to Porgs.
But one of the obvious street markets that you're going to come to will be run by a Toydarian.
Street Rat?
Yes.
Okay.
And among his wares, they will have handcrafted toys made by local quote-unquote artisans. And then they had pictures. They showed some pictures, and they just like little... They don't really look that crude. They just look like basically plushes. So, I mean, I don't know what... From the other pictures
hold
that
it
they
up
had,
there.
they did have some ones that they were going to look more crude. These just don't happen to... These just look like standard plushes, but I'm sure they will have some
Maybe
that
they're-
will be more cruded than others.
Maybe they're posable.
But these are just an example of what the Toydarians are going to be selling. I think it's obviously fitting that the Toydarian will be selling toys.
Well, yeah.
Punny.
Very.
Do you think it'll be a situation where he's like, there's like an animatronic of him up on the wall, and he's kind of directing what's going on or something?
Oh, I guarantee it. It's either that or because I don't see how they could have a cast member dressed as a Toydarian. So that would be really weird. It's going to have to something like maybe an animatronic like Rocket.
Brad Williams can get a job.
Well, that sounds fun.
Yes,
I mean,
definitely.
it seems more like, they'll have one animatronic kind of calling the shots to the other cast members, maybe getting them involved, getting the people involved. It's all about it being immersive, right?
Right. Now, there's just a couple things about Marvel items that came up, and you know what? I think it's funny. I don't know if you saw that there was they made basically an announcement about Marvel for every single park except for Disneyland, and there were a bunch of people that were really pissed off that were like, they announced Marvel at DCA before they announced any of these other things, and blah blah blah. No, they didn't. Where do these people get their information from? I mean, I love how people just make up shit.
They get their information through assumption.
It's like they just make up facts. It sounds familiar.
Alternative facts.
Alternative facts.
You know
They
where
make
get a
up
lot of it from?
facts just that like aren't even true, just to make what they want to say right. I don't understand.
It's because cast members told them.
No, I don't think so. I mean, because these is something like
I thought it was Mice Chat.
Somebody asked a random person that was working Buzz Lightyear what was going to be happening with Marvel in 5 years, and they just told them something, and that became fact because
that's
it came
stupid,
from a cast
because
member.
Marvel
Dan's cracking up because it's totally true.
Marvel
That's
was
the kind of thing that
basically
happens.
announced as having a future. Marvel was announced as having a future presence in DCA.
Of course.
At D23 last year.
They're going to build a whole
Most of
land
these
behind,
other Marvel things were announced for Hong Kong and stuff, and other places way back at D23 in 2015. So the fact that people are making it sound like not even Guardians wasn't even announced in 2015. That was announced in I don't remember where that was announced. Maybe it was announced in 15.
So what's the actual announcement?
Well, the announcement is just a few things that Rock and Roller Coaster at Paris is going to be reimagined to Marvel.
And their Rock and Roller Coaster was horrible.
So I guess that's no big deal then.
That's a good thing.
They just had some artwork about
But they can't, pause real quick, they can't do that actually in Florida because of the licensing agreements, correct?
I don't know.
With Universal?
Sure.
You guys know about that, Dan?
We're talking about for the Marvel character?
Yeah. So they couldn't do like an Iron Man or an Avengers.
Yeah, there's only certain ones they can do, and it's limited to
Well, we'll get there.
Guardians and a couple other things.
Yeah, we'll get to Guardians. And they just had more information and some concept art for the Marvel Hotel at Disneyland Paris that's opening in 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And then they announced the Ant-Man and Wasp attraction for Hong Kong.
Really? I didn't see that
Yeah,
one.
it's going to be Ant-Man and the Wasp fighting Armanzola and Hydra. It looks like the concept
Hail
art
Hydra.
is really cool. Yes.
What type of attraction is it?
It looks like it's going to be like a Buzz Lightyear, actually. Where
Oh, you know what? I did see this. They're actually it's an overlay on their Buzz Lightyear ride.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, if you look at read what it says, I think it says that there's...
No, it doesn't say that. It says it's a new attraction.
The article I saw was saying that they're basically doing it as a skin overlay on Buzz Lightyear. I mean, it's a permanent thing, but might be a different article. Even if it's not, I think it's still pretty cool.
I don't know. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. I mean, the art looks pretty cool. And then, of course, in Florida, we had told you guys about the Guardians of the Galaxy that is going to be coming to Epcot. And then it was confirmed at D23 Japan that it will indeed be a roller coaster, and it will be one of the longest enclosed roller coasters in the world. So you can count on it being longer than any of the Space Mountains that means.
Damn.
How long? Space Mountain's not really that long.
I don't know. Tim's been on all of the Space Mountains.
Not the one in Tokyo, but or Hong Kong, but yeah.
Not yet.
I assume that Paris is longer than any of the American. Is Discovery Mountain longer?
Paris is more like Rock and Roller Coaster.
Right.
That's the best
Except
way I can describe it. And I did just look it up. There is a Buzz Lightyear Astro Blasters in Hong Kong, so it would make sense that they're not going to have two shooting attractions in the same land.
It depends, because I mean they could be doing like a hybrid ride where they do like a combination of a vehicle with shooting combined with like the technology of say Transformers / Spider-Man from Florida.
Found it though. Toy Story 2 themed attraction in Hong Kong is officially closing August 31st to make way for the previously announced Marvel themed interactive shooting game.
So it's not being rethemed; it's being closed and
redone as. I mean, I'm sure it'll be a similar shoot from the concept art we saw.
But it's not going to be cheesy and stupid like Buzz Lightyear.
Like, you never know, bro. You never know.
I don't think so. I think the way this looks is there's going to be projections and stuff.
Well, that's cool. Maybe it'll be a combination between like Toy Story and Buzz, which would be interesting.
Like I said, the Guardians of the Galaxy in Florida will be the longest enclosed roller coaster in the world, and it will include a brand new innovative ride system, and that is expected to open in time for the 50th of Walt Disney World in 2021.
Well, that one I'm excited.
So, like I said, no announcements for us. As I said last week or a couple weeks ago, I said I don't expect any Marvel announcements for us, Marvel Land announcements for us until at least maybe at D23 next year here.
We've got our hatch.
Right.
The Avengers hatch.
Yeah. Yes, we have our hatch. And then, of course, the one final announcement that pertains 100% to us. We did not have a date for things having to do with things.
But
we have a date now. We have dates.
Well, tomorrow is Valentine's Day.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. So Dan has a date.
Well, I have a wife.
With his old lady.
Yeah.
Hey, guess what? We know when Pixar Pier is going to open now.
Uh-oh. It's trouble.
Yeah.
Well?
Oh, is mine my cue?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know.
I'm going to let you talk about this.
All right, so yeah, Pixar Pier has an opening date of June 23rd. And we've been telling you that it's going to be opening in summer, and I believe Disney said it's going to be summer.
What was April? Why did I keep thinking April?
Because that's when Pixar Fest starts.
Oh, okay.
Pixar Fest starts on April 13th.
We'll get to that at the bottom.
I'm going to say that there's going to be a lot of confusion about this.
Oh,
yeah, me.
Oh, 100%.
No, the confusion has already started. But yeah, they announced the opening of the Pixar Pier and the concept art. They have the sign that says Pixar Pier.
Well, I believe that's what the entrance is going to look like over there by what is now what will be used to be the grotto.
Right, yeah.
Ariel's grotto.
If you guys go over there right now, Paradise Pier sign has already been taken down about a week or two ago. And yeah, it looks pretty cool. Of course, it says the reimagined land will feature 4 whimsical neighborhoods representing beloved Pixar stories with newly themed attractions, food, and merchandise. Guests will enter Pixar Pier through a new marquee, which we just talked about, which will be topped by the iconic Pixar lamp later in the year. So what does that mean? Is that lamp's not going to be there?
That means they're going to put the sign up and it's not done.
Ah, okay. I was wondering about that. That was the whole focal point for me when I saw the picture was the lamp. And now it says there that we'll have the sign up, but it's not going to be ready to go.
Sounds about right.
I don't understand the lamp thing. I see the lamp now in the picture. It's on top of the Pixar Pier sign.
I think the reason that it's going to come later is because it's still on order. It was back ordered, and that's why.
Back order.
That's what's going on there.
Oh, then you know what? That must explain. They got it from IKEA.
Wait, what are you looking
You know
at?
what? It looks like a type from IKEA, doesn't
Did
it?
anybody else? I don't know. You would have noticed because you get the notifications. Did you notice that they posted this like 5 times?
Yeah.
They posted it,
yeah.
they deleted it, they posted it, they deleted it.
No.
They posted it, they deleted it.
Did they keep changing the date?
I don't know what was kept changing. All I know is I kept retweeting it. Right? I would retweet it.
Unavailable.
I would I would retweet it, and then I would get a notification of the exact same tweet, and I would open it, and I would look at my thing, and there would be no tweet there that had been retweeted. So obviously they were posting it and then deleting it, and then they posted it and then deleted it again.
Wow, up to the minute updates.
Yeah, so I don't know if they just kept messing up the post or something, but all I know is this particular one about Pixar Pier, they must have tweeted it and deleted it and then reposted it several times. I don't know what was the idea of it.
Well, also opening on June 23rd will be the Incredicoaster, which we've talked about. And it says here a super combination of character figures, lighting, and special effects that will bring the Parr family racing alongside you in a high-speed adventure. All right, so also announced was the new float for Paint the Night. We talked about Paint the Night was getting a new float. And, of course, it is the Incredibles. Now, this float looks pretty cool. I really like the concept art that they have here.
Now, it was brought up to me. Do you think that this is a completely brand new float, or do you think this is the Frozen float repurposed? And that maybe where the buildings are at the one end, that's where the tower used to be, and then where all the other stuff is going on, that's where Olaf's little snow platform was?
I don't know. I mean, they can use the same float.
My idea would be is if they think that they would ever use the Frozen float again, they would keep it in storage.
Maybe it went to Hong Kong.
Right.
You never know.
I thought it was from...
I think they were saving it for grad night.
Oh, there you go.
Electrical Parade.
Oh, right.
One of those floats.
Electrical Parade 3.0?
Yeah.
Okay.
It says the float will feature Mr. Incredible, Elastigirl, and Frozone.
Everybody's on here, yeah?
The new float, will bring all the fun and excitement of the Incredibles.
What about the bad guy with the crazy hair, the black and white suit? Is he on there?
Jason Lee?
Syndrome.
No, but it's got the because it's in the next movie takes place right after the original, right?
Right.
So that's when the mole guy came out. That's why that's in the float.
Yes.
Has to be.
Exactly.
Well, is in June. Is that going to be after when the movie comes out or before?
Movie comes out June 15th.
So the movie will come out. So there's
the movie will be out like the week before.
So the reason this float is probably coming in June is probably because the float might have spoilers.
Yeah, that's true.
Or at least it has to do with the new movie, and they want to promote the movie with the float.
Again, back with the drill thing. That's the very end of the original Incredibles, and it's supposed to pick up right after that.
Right.
So that just makes sense.
What I want to say is that it does say that Violet, Dash, and Jack will also come to life on the float, showcasing their powers in surprising ways. So that's more special effects on the float, which I think it's going to be really, really cool, with the different lighting, how they have on Paint the Night anyway.
So there's 2 floats on 2 parades happening at the same time at the Disneyland Resort that have the Incredibles on them.
It's going to be an incredible summer.
Right.
All right, so Paint the Night will make its debut in California Adventure when Pixar Fest starts on April 13th.
Now, that brings me to what was the confusing part. So if Paint the Night is starting on April 13th, when Pixar Fest starts, that means that we'll be seeing Paint the Night with Sans a float for 2 months.
You're saying you don't think they'll include it?
Well, it says right here they're not going to include it.
Oh, that's horrible.
If Paint the Night starts at DCA on April 13th, and up here it says also coming in June is a dazzling new float for Paint the Night, that means between April 13th and June 23rd, there will be no Incredibles float in Paint the Night. You'll be Sans a float.
Right.
2 months, 10 days.
Right. So
right.
It's just it's just weird.
We'll just call that the Sans float.
It's just weird
time.
that they would why start the parade without the float.
Well, because they're cast for the parade, the support cast and the actors that are that they have are going to learn the timing for it to be one way, and then they're going to add another float. It's going to potentially mess them up a little bit.
Well, adding one whole float, that would mess up the timing of the whole entire parade.
That's what I'm saying. Unless it's
a
just
whole
at the
nother
end.
float.
Unless it's just at the end.
I mean, especially depending on any other changes.
Right.
Now, my question is, and it doesn't explicitly say here, can we assume perhaps? Also, I want to point out, I believe April 13th, is that Friday the 13th?
It's April.
Not March. April has Friday the 13th?
Yeah.
So, Pixar Fest will start on Friday the 13th.
Cool.
Now, what I was going to say is, can we assume...
Whoa.
Don't die.
Was that a hairball?
Stop the death, hairball.
Can we assume that since Pixar Fest, quote-unquote Pixar Fest celebration beginning throughout the Disneyland Resort on April 13th, can we also assume that that means that April 13th will be the day that Pixar Play Parade starts in Disneyland?
Yes, I would say so.
Even though they haven't said it.
Right.
So it's a pretty good guess that that's the day we're shooting for the whole everything to be done.
Yeah. Well,
in Disneyland, because obviously the train or the main street and all of its train stuff or track stuff has to be done, and the new Mall of America over there by Small World also needs to be done at that point.
Right.
So we have to assume that all of that stuff is going to be done at least however long you think they need to rehearse the parade on that new route.
Right.
Well, that's going to come quick, too. We're February. That's just a short month.
Right.
There's a new route?
So, yeah, that's going to come up pretty quick. Like a
new route as in it's in a new park.
Oh, well, okay.
Well, and it's going to have a new route at the end because it's going to have a new entrance by a Small World.
Or in
because of the mall.
Or in the beginning.
Right.
Well, depending on which way it's
Depending on
going.
which way it's going, yes.
When's that supposed to be done? That's the other question. The new doors in the back there.
That's what I said. That we have to assume that will be sometime prior to April 13th.
Because if they want to start both parades the same weekend.
Have any of you guys been back there?
Well, if they're going to start Pixar Fest on April 13th, you would have to assume that both parades will start the same day. Hey, does everybody remember the first year of this podcast when Season of the Force opened and we had who did we start with? Season of the Force. We had Chewbacca and Darth Vader, right? Kylo Ren wasn't even there at the beginning.
Oh no, it alternated though for a while between
Chewie and Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Oh no, Boba Fett was never one of the photo ops, though. He just came into the cantina and just for photo ops in the cantina. He was never one of the designated photo ops. The designated photo ops were Chewie and Vader, and then they almost immediately changed to Kylo Ren. But at the time, everybody was basically hashtag Where's Rey?
Yep.
At the time on this podcast, I even said, and probably had a big rant at the time, one of my earliest rant-mans would have been, where is Rey? Why is there no Rey character here? She's basically the main character of The Force Awakens. We should have had a Rey character. Well, it only took 2.5 years.
Second movie.
Well, a second movie where she's not the main character.
Right. It only took another movie. Well, I mean, she's a main character, but yeah.
One of them, yeah, but...
So, I mean, it only took 2.5 years, but guess what? We're finally getting Rey in Launch Bay at Disneyland.
I'd say that Poe is a bigger character than her in The Last Jedi, but...
Well, yeah, possibly. He has more to do, maybe.
Yeah.
So, yes, joining Chewbacca, just like right now, there is the alternation of Darth Vader and Big Head Kylo Ren.
Big Head Kylo
over
Ren.
on the light side, it's always just been Chewbacca by himself, and he's had nobody to share the limelight with. Well, he will have to share the limelight with Rey starting May. We don't have a...
What do you think the likelihood that she'll be questioned about her attraction to Kylo Ren is?
Daily.
Most likely.
We don't have an
Dan's
exact...
like, I'm going to be doing it.
We don't have an exact date for that yet, but...
What was the month he gave?
May.
Hey,
I'm
guessing...
May the 4th.
That's what I'm guessing.
Come on.
I'm guessing May the 4th is probably when she will debut. And I love it. Encounter Rey this May, and then they throw in a cheap plug for the...
Popcorn bucket?
Well, that'd be nice.
No, for reserving your copy of Star Wars The Last Jedi.
Oh, wow.
They throw in a cheap plug, including more than 2 hours of bonus footage, deleted scenes, and more.
I'm not buying any of those movies until they come out with a 3-pack.
I'm going to buy all of them, because I always do.
Singular,
Exactly.
and then the 3-pack?
Yeah, I'm a sucker.
Yeah, because that's how we do it.
And then who do you give away the 3-pack
What do you mean
to?
give
single-
away? What is this giveaway stuff?
So why would you want to have the singles when you're going to get like a collector's edition?
Because I'm a collector.
Because we're fans.
Yes.
Because that's how collectors do it.
Anyway, Ray's coming in May.
Ray's
Yeah.
coming in
the
May.
4th.
And Dan's
So-
getting ready to harass her about her relationship with Kylo
Finally.
Ren.
I'm gonna tell my relative because she's Ray. I'm Reyes.
All I gotta say is for Dan, this is for Dan. Finally, Ray is coming
to
to
Disneyland.
Disneyland.
To Launch Bay. There you go.
To Launch Bay. And it's about time, so...
Launch Bay, where they have only a
Let's
part
just hope
of the
that
Galaxy's Edge.
Ray can come there and that everybody can be an adult about it and that they don't have to take her away because a bunch of stupid people did stupid stuff.
Yeah,
That's all I'm hoping for.
I mean, if they're not gonna, if people can if people can manage, I'm having trouble. If they can manage with people with the princesses, then they can deal with.
But
Ray.
you know what? I would agree with you normally, but the amount of adult men that are going to be wanting to take pictures with Ray compared to the amount of adult men that want to take pictures with princesses is going to be more.
Ooh,
and it
that's
opens
true.
up more opportunities for
ass grabs and such.
Things that shouldn't be happening.
Hopefully she has that staff. Anyway.
So let's just hope that everybody
you know how you're wearing
acts
steel-toed
appropriately.
boots? Maybe they'll put
plus I think they do the. Do they alternate or do they do the photos together? I haven't been in there since.
For what? The two characters?
Like Darth Vader and Kylo, are they together? Or
No,
are they
Kylo's not there.
Well, they don't exist in the same timeline.
No.
However, these characters do, so they might stick them together. Or they might have you do one and then you move down. And you
Right,
do the
that's
other.
what I'm wondering because
Or
obviously if
alternate.
Chewie's going to be there, at least Rey has a bodyguard. So, but yeah, so looking forward to that. That will be cool.
Chewie's going to make the noise.
I just got breaking news on the teletype that Vader and Kylo are both in there and they're in separate rooms.
Right, because they don't exist in the same timeline.
Right.
So they couldn't be like side by side.
But like you said, they could put Rey and Chewie together in the same room. That room's kind of big too, so I mean, I could see them putting them in there same.
With BB-8 even.
Maybe we'll see. I'm looking forward to it. That'll be cool. Like Dan said, most likely I'm just gonna say May the 4th.
All right, so moving on. We told you about the new refurb going on at the World of Disney store in downtown Disney. Well, it has started. And they are actually going to start on the, well, depending on, I guess it's on the west side, closest to Starbucks. They're starting on that area first.
Which is it's the plush in the Star Wars section.
You're right. And so, yeah, they're going to be starting there first and then moving their way around. And I don't know, I guess they're going to start there and then just keep going up to the other side.
We talked about how this is going to work, but I had a cast member in there the other day tell me that they're shutting the whole store down.
Yeah, well.
Why did you? Never mind.
You already know
you already know I trust a cast member.
Yeah, you already told us how
I
they
already
lie.
know not to try.
So yeah, anyway, yeah, that's going on right now. But like we did tell you that store will be open during the refurb, and it's supposed to be done around in the fall, I believe. They said
That's what they said. They said the fall, yeah.
Yeah, but
It's
again,
gonna be small sections at a time. It's gonna take that long.
yeah. So, but if you guys,
a month per section at the most, right?
so yeah, if you guys are going to go downtown Disney and want to shop, don't worry, the shop still will be open. Don't need to worry about that. Also, the home store is now open, and they're going to have home goods and stuff like that. I don't know.
Plates,
forks. I don't see a reason for the home store.
No, I don't. Mickey waffle makers.
I don't know. I mean, unless they have something really cool that we've never seen before in a store that Disney already has.
It's a niche. People like that kind of stuff. Their whole kitchens.
I like that kind of stuff too, but I don't see a point to have a home store in downtown Disney.
Yeah,
I wanted that store to turn into a actual Star Wars store, like the D Street did in Florida. The D Street in Florida turned into an actual Star Wars store.
Then they opened a Avengers store, a Marvel store right next to it.
Right. So I mean, I don't understand.
We'll see. I think the sales.
They have a plan.
I think the sales in that store were getting a little stagnant in the D Street store, other than what they have special releases and stuff. So Let's see how.
But that place is always crowded though. You couldn't even go in there.
Well, that's because there's no room in there.
It's really little.
How do you? That place was so small. How are they even going to fit home goods in there?
They're going to tear down a wall.
I mean, they couldn't even fit books in there, much less fit a toaster.
It's going to be one of those places like you see in the mall that has like 3 pairs of shoes because they're so expensive.
It's going to be like Sharper Image, where there's just one couch for sale in the middle of the store.
I mean, I'm excited to see
what they have. And then just a bunch of smalls on the side.
But if their sales don't equal whatever, the store will last 6 months and they'll do something else.
Yeah, but it's Disney owned, so who cares?
Right.
Yeah.
All right, so we've talked about the Black Tap Brewery come in. I haven't been in downtown Disney in a while, but found out that will take over the Build-A-Bear spot, the former Build-A-Bear spot.
They have a sign up now.
Yeah, that's why I'm talking about it. And Ballast Point will be taking over Ride Makers.
By default.
Right. And now we did also talk about the new renovations going on at
Splitsville? That was last week.
At Naples.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're adding a big outdoor patio.
So that construction is already going on right now. But don't worry, if you guys want to go over there and eat, it is open during the construction. So just because there's walls up doesn't mean it's closed. So you can go over there and enjoy some food.
Is that all of downtown Disney?
No, we're going to talk real quick about, since you two guys went to the Secrets of the Empire.
Oh, yeah, we did.
And now both of you guys can talk about if Tim remembers anything about that.
Well, you said you went through the wrong door, right?
Yeah, I went back through a door I wasn't supposed to go through.
How did you? Was it just mistakenly open, or?
No, it never closed. I think we actually walked through the door. That's what actually happened.
But then you're not supposed to be able to see it anymore, or something like that.
The door was there. We just walked through it. It was like you'd walk through a wall. It just wasn't there. We walked in, it was black. We're like, oh, yeah, I guess we're not supposed to be here. And I think my brother had mentioned, he said, I swear I heard somebody say, what are you guys doing? But I never saw anybody because I didn't flip up my mask.
I did flip up my mask, but did you touch or hold hands with any of the droids?
I didn't with K2SO. We felt the R2 droid.
Yeah,
that was really there for the dome. It was
that's like
there.
The final.
I did. I mentioned this to Anthony. I did shoot off the gun too.
You did what I did?
The trigger was like, it was super sensitive trigger. So as soon as I picked it up, I fired it. And then K2SO got mad and was like,
yeah, what are you doing?
You're not supposed to do that yet. And
You've blown your cover, basically, right? The next time that I go, I'm definitely not going to do that.
No, I'm going to treat it lightly. I think I told you I noticed 2 glitches, and they were at the very end, and it was minimal.
I was looking at my arms at one point, and I was like going like this, and if you go like that on your arm, it actually will make your arm go really long.
Oh, really? I'm going to try it next time.
There's a bunch of interesting little things, but I feel like they had a lot of people coming when we were there, and they were kind of, at a certain point, we felt hurried.
Oh, really? No, I didn't feel that.
Not once we were in it, then it was like our own pace. But
what time were you there?
8:30 at night.
Oh, I was like at 10 o'clock in the morning.
So yeah, then there's probably nobody else.
No, there wasn't. In fact, I think the group that was supposed to be ahead of us hadn't checked in yet, and they were like, well, we'll just take you guys because you're here.
Huh.
So it kind of worked like that. I'm still going to do it again.
What were you saying about getting... You were saying something about getting the gear on that was different than what I experienced, I think.
It fit?
Surprisingly, right?
Yeah.
No, I needed one extender because I had a big belly.
Oh yeah, I needed the extender on the bottom too.
Bottom one.
They were sized. That's what it was. They had a size to it. Like the one I had on was a medium, but I noticed the one next to me was an extra large.
The whole vest.
The whole vest.
Okay, so when that's what was different for me.
That's why you needed the extender.
For me, when they just basically said line up, and I was the biggest guy out of our 4.
It had nothing to do with size. It just put us there. Like
it
didn't. They just were like, okay, go over here, go over here. They didn't even pay attention. I just was the third one to walk in the room, so I grabbed the third vest.
Right.
Nothing had nothing to do with size.
They give you everything else, little cubby to put your stuff in or whatever. Yeah, cell phone or whatever.
Everything else you said was pretty much what I experienced.
We had trouble with a couple of the puzzles or whatever.
That's just because I'm stupid.
I mean, I couldn't figure out what...
One of them was seriously like Simon.
Oh, really?
Yeah, to remember the color coding, and we could not do it for the life of us.
Oh, I'm pretty good at that.
Because I had the comm link, I finally told my brother, man, I can't do this. I got half of it, and then he got the other half. It really was like we just couldn't remember the combo.
If they had just if something had popped up and said, "Remember this, whatever," then it would have been different. But for me, I couldn't figure out what it was that I was supposed to be doing to learn the combination.
It wasn't that hard, man. This stuff just flashed. Like there's 4 things you see: blue, blue, red, red.
You know what? We'll go, and then you can not figure it out. You'll probably be just as stupid as we were.
oh no, that's not a spoiler. Like you're gonna have a hard time with it anyway.
Yeah, no, there's no spoiler.
Yeah.
Oh no, I don't care. I thought it was funny.
The one that I didn't have a hard time with was like pulling the lever on the wall.
Oh yeah, because you just pulled down.
Yeah, you just pull down, but it's a real thing. You're actually grabbing a real lever and moving it down.
You have a hell of a time shooting the gun because you're a stormtrooper. You miss everything.
So here's the question: knowing that you're in this VR environment, did you get a little bit scared when Darth Vader was coming at you?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that was the unexpected part for me, is that you're shooting Vader. He's a distance away, right? And at some point, he pretty quickly comes at you, and he's got his lightsaber like up, like he's going to attack you. And I kind of went like, oh, shit. Like, I'm going to die right now. And he, at that point, another character, like, I don't know, something other happens, and you don't, obviously. But it was a little scary for a second.
Did you buy the photo?
One person in our party bought the photo.
Yeah, I did too, because you get digital download. So it's like $15.
I'd have to go back and look at it. But you know what's funny is my photo looked almost exactly like your photo.
Oh, yeah. They're not the best, but it is what it is.
So definitely you guys will go and do it again, huh?
Yeah. I've been planning with my friend to actually do it. Hopefully he gets back to me sometime this month or next month.
Cool.
I mean, we want to go do it. I don't know if Diggs wants to for sure or not.
I don't know. I don't get invited to you guys' things, so.
That was not
That's
my choice.
because it was 10 o'clock in the morning, Diggs.
No, he's talking about dinner.
Oh, well.
That was not my choice. That was all on the girl.
All right, so moving on, we've talked about the new parking structure about to be built over at the Mickey and Friends. And right now, oversized vehicle parking for buses and RVs and stuff like that you can go park your big old RVs over at Toy Story. But they will be effective on Tuesday, February 20th. All those must park at Toy Story because Pinocchio lot will close so the construction can start.
You think they're going to use Buzz, that area of Buzz where they've used, where they've sometimes have had buses park over there in Buzz, more towards the Catella side of Buzz. They've used that for buses parking before, like people like with the cheerleading competitions and stuff going over to the convention center. They've parked buses in Buzz before on that section closest to Catella. Do you think they're going to turn that into the oversized parking?
I know
or
that.
Or do you think maybe like the Woody side closest
No,
to Catella?
it's going to be Buzz because Buzz has an oversized parking.
Yeah,
Right.
the far end on that side where that fence is heading towards the back end, that's oversized parking.
Yeah, that's all the oversized
all
over
the
there.
way at the very back.
Yeah, not
all
the
the way to the very
bushes,
back?
but the side.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that has a big long line.
'Cause I know that one section, like I said, that I've seen them park a lot of buses in that one section before.
I've been sitting over there a couple of times in my truck to go park
Okay.
oversized.
And I actually was over there the other day in the parking structure in the area that Tim and I were talking about a couple weeks ago, where they have where it looks like they're going to be moving the loading area and possibly bag check and stuff. They've added some temporary, what looked like maybe even connected to solar, new lighting fixtures in that section where we were looking at one day. That
Inside the structure or outside?
Inside the structure where we were looking above where they were doing that,
Right.
where they were pouring that cement in that one area, opposite where we were looking. Up above now, there's some new lighting fixtures where they're in light wires leading all the way outside, which I think they might be solar. So they're
I mean,
new
it makes
lighting
sense that
fixtures.
they would want to
So they're
power
gonna,
that
they're
stuff
yeah
with
they're going to
solar.
put more lighting in that area. So it definitely reinforces the assumption that that's going to be something's happening in that area. Otherwise, there would have no reason to add more light.
Right. So yeah, if you're going to be driving your big rigs and stuff like that, head over to Toy Story parking lot and park there.
All right, just real quick, just want to tell you guys that apparently there have been some honor boxes. Now, the cell phone cases have been available in the parks for a little while now. They have some brand new ones that have just come out that are Disneyland Castle cases specific to Walt Disney World and Disneyland. Each one has the corresponding castle. but the castle is above the castle section. It's actually partially a clear case. So any of you guys that have your rose gold or red or whatever cases,
we don't have
that. I have a red. See, red.
Ooh.
Those are pretty cool. Those are brand new.
What I'm wondering is if anybody's ever broken a phone with one of their regular cases, because I never have. The regular D-Tech.
I have had D-Tech break, so I have had a D-Tech separate, just like how this one is. This is not D-Tech, but I've had a D-Tech, Tomorrowland D-Tech one that's separated on me.
The cases break. The cases themselves break, but do they break? Will the phone break inside of one with a drop?
I don't know. I'm not trying to drop my phone and test it. So anyways, they do have some other ones that are available. If you're wondering, they are available at Disneyland, the Emporium, Star Trader, Off the Page, World of Disney, and at Trolley Treats. And according to what we've heard, right now they only have them for iPhones, and the regular cases are $49.99. And then you said you think the pluses are $59.99.
That's what I heard as well.
And is that also for the iPhone X also, or are those the same price as the regular?
I think the X's are
also $49.99.
I think the X's are $59.99.
Okay, so either way, go check those out. They're new cases to something better than the D-Tech ones, better quality.
Well, they have a guarantee that the phone won't break.
Well, he's been using OtterBox for a while now, so
still good.
Yeah. So, anyways, go check that out. Also, real quick, fans of Kim Possible. What? Kim Possible's coming back? No way. Yeah, because everything old is new. We are getting a Disney Channel exclusive Kim Possible movie, live action. What? Live action Kim Possible?
Really?
Yes, there's going to be a live action Kim Possible coming to Disney Channel. No other details on when it's going to be or any of that. So stay tuned. Get excited about that if you are a Kim Possible fan. Real quick, also, we were talking about The Incredibles earlier. Of course, this summer will be The Incredibles 2, as we mentioned. We got a new poster for The Incredibles 2 today. Well, actually, 2 new posters for The Incredibles 2. Did you see those? The one with the laundry basket?
Yeah.
And then the other one with the washing machine. Those were really funny. And then we also got as he always happens to do, we got a little tweet from Michael Giacchino yesterday, teasing that he has started the scoring for Incredibles 2.
That was a tease.
A little bit. I think it was, was it Rogue One? He did one of those similar things.
I think so.
He's done that before where he posts little things. So that's interesting. And then also one more quick thing. We got some more news. We've been talking about the Disney streaming service that will be coming and replacing who knows what and how that's going to work. We get confirmation there will be absolutely no R-rated on the new Disney streaming service. That will remain either on Netflix or it will move to possibly to Hulu, since Disney seems to have a bigger stake in Hulu now. So we will see what happens with that. Also, we got the announcement that there will be, for sure, the goal in the first year is to generate 4 or 5 original movies and 5 TV series. Some of the priority movie projects that they heard about was a Don Quixote, a live-action Lady and the Tramp, something called The Paper Magician, Stargirl, and something called Togo. And then they also have in post-production and bound for the streaming service are a movie called Magic Camp, and then another movie called Noelle that has Anna Kendrick, Bill Hader, and Shirley MacLaine. And then other priority development projects include a apparent 3 Men and a Baby remake, which I think I speak for everybody here, we don't need.
No.
A live-action Sword in the Stone.
I like 3 Men and a Baby.
But do we need a remake of it?
No.
Maybe live-action, like a sequel.
No, it's not debatable.
You're done with that.
A live-action Sword in the Stone, which of course we mentioned 2 years ago when they announced that, and then whatever this is, it's something called Timmy Failure, and my page just went white.
It failed.
That's quite ironic.
A little bit. And then, of course, some of the stuff that we mentioned before on the TV side, that we will be getting the High School Musical series, an animated Monsters, Inc. series, a Marvel live-action title, and then a Star Wars branded title. So we'll be getting a live-action Marvel series and a live-action Star Wars series.
They're just going to continue Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
I don't know about that. I mean, because by then, maybe they might wrap up Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., depending. I don't know if they're going to move stuff that's on regular TV to the streaming service, but definitely there's a lot of stuff they have planned for that. We're just going to have to see what happens and when they roll it out and how much it's going to be, and hopefully they stay on par with what everybody else is. I know you don't play golf.
You never let me tell my joke.
All right, and finally, we had... Well, I don't think we mentioned it on here because I think when it was first announced, I didn't know it was ABC. So we never announced that there was going to be a reboot of Greatest American Hero. I don't think we ever talked about it because I don't think I realized it was ABC at the time.
I don't think so.
But then today they announced who's actually going to be playing. Just buried the lead. It's going to be a female Greatest American Hero reboot.
Right.
And we got the news today that the Greatest American heroine, so to speak, will be Hannah Simone from The New Girl.
Cool. I remember her.
I don't.
Nope.
I never watched it, but
the best friend.
Okay. I know who the actress is.
So she will be, believing it or not, and walking on air.
Cool.
That was good. Any word on when we're going to see this, or just going into production now?
Now, this, of course, comes right on the heels of the announcement that New Girl will be going into its final season.
Oh.
She's not new anymore.
So it pretty much locks
frees her up to do it.
Simone in to be playing it, and this is, of course, she is of British and Indian descent, so she will actually become the first woman of color superhero lead in a live-action TV series. Period.
Cool.
That's pretty cool.
It doesn't say when that's supposed to be. I assume that when New Girl comes to end, maybe so next season, maybe.
Yeah, that's fine.
It may be a 2019 or 2019 mid season or something like that. So
makes more sense to call her kind of old girl.
Your comedic timing is very off.
So look for more news on that and possible casting. I'll be interested to hear who's going to be playing the Robert Culp character, the FBI agent.
Man, I barely remember that.
I barely remember that too.
That was such a great show. I loved it.
Oh, I did too.
I remember watching it, but I don't remember anything about it.
Yeah, I don't remember the characters' names and stuff like that right now.
He was clumsy, though.
But you remember why he couldn't fly correctly, though, right? He loses the handbook for the suit.
Oh, yeah.
In the very first episode, he loses the handbook.
Oh, wow.
So that's why he never knows how to use it correctly, because he doesn't have the handbook.
Okay.
Oh, Batman never had that problem.
Well, because he created it.
No, he didn't.
No, he had Alfred.
Well, I mean, he had people helping him, but I mean, they showed him how to use stuff. I'm sure he was given a manual. I mean, the Greatest American Hero was given a manual that probably wasn't even in English. First of all, because it was given to him by aliens.
Oh.
Do you have a special occasion coming up? Looking to personalize your trip with a keepsake? Create customized buttons for birthdays, engagements, family vacations, even bridal parties, or just because. Check out buttonsbydiggs.com today. Buttons by Diggs, Buttons by Diggs. Remember, those are buttons, not pins.
It's time for the mail.
And our first email is from Mary Holmstein.
Hey, Mary.
She says, in response to last week's conversation of the best Disney fireworks show, I've been to Disneyland and watched both. And although I love the simplistic and innocence of the Believe There's Magic show, I would have to go with the more up-to-date Remember the Dreams show because I love how the castle becomes part of the experience. My favorite show to date is the Symphony in the Stars that was put on at Disney Hollywood Studios during Star Wars weekends.
I have seen video of that one. I'll have trouble arguing with that.
She said, listen, I like Star Wars movies. I'm just happy to see something new, but parts of the Remember and Symphony actually took my breath away. I think I remember as a kid, Disney characters used to come out before or during the fireworks show, and the Tinkerbell crossed the sky She wasn't as graceful as she is now. I do remember asking my mom one time if she was falling.
Well, that's kind of how it went
with style.
In the
beginning. With style.
I mean, it was in the beginning. She was basically bombing off the Matterhorn, and I was explained at one point by somebody pretty high up that they basically would catch her with mattresses early on.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is my take on the fireworks show, and the one I would choose as my favorite.
Yeah, just a note real quick.
You weren't here last week. What did you listen and know what we're talking about?
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I'd probably agree. Remember. It's probably the one that...
It's pretty close for me, but the one that hit home emotionally to me first was the Believe show for the fifth.
Yeah, but
before the 50th.
I don't like little kids singing, so...
Oh. He's more talking, right? He goes, but I never had a dream, a magic place.
Believe.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was great. The other thing about Believe is there's more actual fireworks in the show, and that's something to consider as well. As Disney's gone on, there's been more show elements and less boom boom in the sky, which saves them money. They can project or write music or whatever. It saves them cash.
You know what? At least they're still using fireworks.
It's true.
As opposed to WWE, which almost uses no fireworks for intros
no
nowadays.
Really?
They've almost eliminated all the pyro from it.
It's cost saving measure.
It's pretty much gone now, right? Nobody uses pyro anymore.
You don't do it only on pay-per-views, I think.
Only pay-per-views now. They don't have any pyro anymore in the regular shows.
That's bullcrap.
Not even for remember the beginning, they used to do the pop, 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 pop around the ring, and then at the beginning, they don't do any of that crap no more.
That's just taking the cue from Disney, where once you've got them, you don't need to do it anymore.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, we've got all these people. Let's little by little take out all the stuff
I know this
we're spending money on.
I know this is something for his podcast, but yeah, why do you think they don't mind leaving Brock Lesnar with the title for a year? Because
you know who still has fireworks? Angels and Dodgers. Anyway,
there you go.
All right, next email
and the better of those two is we're
not going to start a debate here. Dodgers. So the next email.
But it's the Dodgers, right? Yeah, okay.
Dirty. Anyway, next email.
The next email comes from Anthony's friend, Jason Cooley.
Hey. Hello.
And his subject line is price increase rant.
Rant to us.
We already had it. Next email.
All right, it says MousePIRE. So the big news this week was the price increase at Disneyland Resort. I am sure you guys already discussed it earlier in the show. Not a big shock as it happened the last couple of years from what I remember. Facebook blew up with people blasting Disney for being greedy, blah, blah, blah. How can Disney be so greedy? Don't they know everybody doesn't have that type of disposable income to afford to purchase annual passes now? Is one of the many arguments I saw.
Which is pretty much Disney's point.
Well, then don't buy annual passes.
Bye.
He's right.
If you can't afford it. The purpose of a business is to make money, and Disney is no different. As I understand, one of the reasons for these price increase is an attempt to control just a little the amount of people in the parks. And then he brings up the point, as we talked about, there used to be an off season, but not so much anymore. From what I can tell, it is my opinion, maybe not the popular one. I think they should get rid of the monthly payment plan option. People would complain and have meltdowns on social media, but if Disneyland is that important to them, there is a way to still be on a payment plan, but it takes discipline. Instead of sending your monthly payments to Disney, put that money in a savings account. Good idea right there. At the end of the year, you will have the money for your pass. Then to start the process all over again for next year when it's time to renew. Sorry for the long email. I look forward to the show and keep up the good work. Jason.
I just want to say that I know technically he's right, but I will make the observation that the only people saying that they should get rid of the payment plans are the people that can afford not to have to use the payment.
Well,
plans.
there's two parts of that. One is what Diggs and I were talking about.
Or there's the people that are disciplined enough to do the saving, which most people aren't.
Well, saving isn't necessarily isn't necessary. We were talking about this yesterday in one of the groups. You know, you just make sure that your credit's decent enough that you can get a credit card. You know, I had a big spike in my credit recently because I took care of a couple things that were there. And in order to increase my credit number even again, I signed up for another credit card. Am I going to use the $5,000 balance? Absolutely not.
Yeah, but two passes.
But I'm gonna carry that, and I'm gonna put a little bit of money on it so that they don't take it away. And if they decide to take the AP payment plans away, I've got a card that I can stick it on, no problem. It's going to cost me a little bit extra in interest. Maybe it'll cost me an extra $100 a year or something. But regardless, you were saying the same thing, right, Diggs?
Yes.
Just get a credit card. If you're not a total, scumbag or broke bitch or whatever term you want to use, then it shouldn't be that hard to get a card that you can put $1,000 on.
Because then on the flip side too, at the same time, and it's something that I didn't really mention earlier, which probably should have. At the same time that I say that. But it goes counter to what I'm saying. But people have come to a point where Disneyland's not a privilege anymore. People have become so entitled.
Yeah, they are.
We live in such an entitled society now that people think that everybody should deserve to go to Disneyland. When you know what, to be honest, not everybody could go to Disneyland. I remember going all the way back to when I was a kid. We were lucky to go to Disneyland once a year.
Right.
So I mean, not everybody had parents that could buy them passes when they were in high school or whatever.
Don't be jealous, okay?
I can be jealous all I want. I'm just saying that not everybody could have that shit, and that some people were lucky to go once a year. Where now people get passes and they go once 2-3 times a month or more than that, but so people have become so entitled that the reason
they think they're entitled to it.
Right, the people complain so much about the prices and everything, and calling Disney greedy and all that. The only reason they complain like that is because they have become so entitled that they think that everybody should be able to go to Disneyland. Disneyland's always been.
Then they complain that everybody's there.
I saw this post a little while. Well, you know what? I'm going to respond to what you're saying first. Is that never mind? You can cut that out because I lost it. I just saw this post a little while ago. It says, let's play a hypothetical situation. If Disneyland cares so much about crowd sizes, wouldn't they just eliminate all annual passes altogether and make everyone buy a daily pass? I'm interested to know how many times a year would current pass holders go to Disneyland if they had to purchase a daily ticket. The first comment says, I'm sure that in replacement of the annual pass program, they would offer a yearly pass that's good for so many visits. Potentially,
I'll tell you exactly how many times I would go. I would go 14. Exactly how many sign-ins that she has as a cast member.
And there's two parts of that. Is how many times would you go? How often? Right? Is it going to cost you less than $1,000 if you go, one park each and you go 5 times or 6 times throughout the year or something? Or
the easy answer is no. You may not go at all, because during the period when I didn't have a pass in between when I started working at Disneyland in 03, 04, and then when I got my pass back in 2014, I only went to Disneyland twice during that period.
That sucks.
Because
the dark days?
The dark days.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty dark days. But
my comment back to this
I didn't miss much. A year of 1,000 dreams, that's fine.
It was 1,000,000 dreams, though.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You missed 990,000.
See, that's how many dreams I missed because wasn't there. So it
sounds like uneventful sleep.
So just to wrap it up, just to get back to what Jason's saying. He's right. Just in the fact that Disneyland should always still remain a luxury to people. It's gotten to the point though where Disney World or overseas Disney places are the luxuries, and Disneyland is expected. When it still shouldn't be like that. Disneyland still should be looked at something that is special.
This is what I talked about earlier, though, is Disney created this situation by offering these payment plans when the passes were cheap, and people started with, I could do $20 a month. I could do 30, and then 30 became 50, and 50 became 70, and now.
Well, if I had known about the payment plans, I would have gotten a pass years before I got it back.
Right. If you're talking
probably whenever they started,
it's almost $90 a month, right? Especially if you're doing a renewal.
For which one? I'm sorry.
For one of the top. Either one of the
Signature
top
Plus
passes.
is like 90 something if you're doing the renewal without down payment.
You're talking about $100 a month, which is. Even if you have like a good teacher's salary, what percentage are you talking? $100 a month is like 5% of your income or something, right?
Dan makes
come on. He's on vacation, no math right now.
Yeah, Dan makes a lot of money. He makes more than all of us combined.
You know what I mean, though,
yeah,
right? Even if you're making $100,000 a year, $100 a month is I mean, that's what is $100,000 a year is $8,000 a month or something.
It's about $8,000 a month.
Right. So you're talking $100 a month is that's
Pocket
like
change.
3% or something.
Yeah,
of your, I mean, 3% is a chunk.
Moving on.
All right, thank you for your email, Jason.
I think Jason's right, but there's more. I think there's more questions to be posed on the thing. That's all I'm saying.
All right, our next email is coming from Russia.
Whoa, no way.
That's
Yes
that's
way.
got to be the farthest one.
Hey, that's the opposite of a dirty award right there.
I'm thinking that this has to be for me begging for emails for so long.
All right, it says, I can't read this in Russian. No, I'm just kidding.
I was waiting for that one.
All right, it says, a very good day to the MousePIRE world. I hope everyone is doing well, especially you, Diggs. Sorry to hear about your health situation. I am sending positive vibes to you on a speedy recovery. Thank you, I appreciate that. I am emailing because I am amazed how people get so bent out of shape when Disney raised their admission prices. I know it's pretty steep price as it is, but when you're paying $125, what $7 more isn't like it's gone up $50?
He means on a monthly basis.
Right.
Which is what they're counting on. They're counting on that 80 or 90% of the people are going to keep their passes based on the fact that it's only a little bit more each month.
I'm just amazed with the amount of complaining people do. They must not live in California where everything is high priced. Exactly. As for me, I've been MIA because I've decided to buy a few acres in northern Arizona, and I'm building a bunker and hideout, sort of like the Unabomber place, minus the blowing people up.
Oh, I know who this is.
But all is well here. Take care, everyone, and send my warmest regards to our fearless leader, Shadow. I miss you, buddy. From Russia, with love, Jake from State Farm.
Jake's all the way in Russia?
Wow.
Yeah.
Did he tell us what he was doing there?
He
does infrastructure stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
State Farm Travels.
Sounds classified.
I'm sure it is.
He didn't do those leaks, did he?
He might have to get a new nickname.
Jake
from the airport.
Jake the traveling
Jakester.
builder.
Jake the traveling Jakester.
I don't know.
All
right. Well, yeah, we talked about all that, and yeah, people are just going to complain no matter what.
I think that the reason that people complain so much is that in their head they had like a breaking point, and I think a lot of people on this one thought that $1,000 for a signature was as high as that they would go, and they know that this is either their last year or they're going to give it up this year. So it's one or the other, and that's what they're pissed off.
$9.99.
That's what $1,000.
Well, half the park is closed, so
right.
And
there's walls everywhere.
They could have at least waited till the walls came down to raise the prices.
God, Trump.
God. All right, our next email is from Giselle the Gazelle.
Hey.
Her subject line is $12.
Yep. She's probably buying churros.
That's one for each of us.
All right, she says, hey, MousePIRE. Nothing new to report this week. I literally drove to Disneyland on Sunday, got pissed that the Mickey and Friends parking lot wasn't open, parked in downtown, and then got my Starbucks and left and paid $12 an hour parking.
Didn't she validate her parking at Starbucks and get it for free? Oh, because she probably didn't spend $20.
Right.
Giselle, future reference, buy a ticket for a child at the kiosk for a movie, and then you'll only pay that amount to park.
Interesting.
And you get 5 hours. Of course, that movie theater won't be there very long, but it works now.
All right. She says, I will for sure be going to the new home store. Can't wait for that. Also, on Snapchat, I read about a lawsuit from some motorcycle gangs that claim to be White Rabbit versus Flynn Riders. One group is suing Disneyland for not taking action against the other and using scare tactics to intimidate them. I don't know why all the drama, man.
Should ask Michael. He knows all these people.
Yeah, we don't want to get into that crap because it's just stupid. And yeah, we'll just leave it at that. She said she just bought a brand new Disney World guidebook for her vacation this summer.
Send us pics.
Hashtag not my park, but very excited.
Love the hashtag.
All right. Question here is, what does being a male person even entail? Do I really have to battle Michael? And when do you record? I don't want to be late. Talk to you guys next week. love. G, this is the closest emoji that she gets to a gazelle.
Well, we record on Tuesdays or Wednesdays. We've been flip-flopping recently, depending on schedules.
Mostly Tuesdays.
That's the go-to day. And, I mean, I think we've decided that like weapons would need to be chosen in advance.
I thought it was mixing skills. DJ. It was a DJ battle.
No. We picked the weapons.
Michael
can't pick the weapons.
The
Were those big Q-tip things?
Yeah. We picked the weapons. I mean, in this case, Michael would probably get one of the Q-tip things, and Giselle would get some sort of like flamethrower.
I was thinking the flamethrower.
That's good.
I nominate Spaceballs the flamethrower.
It'll be like an RPG, though. I mean, you won't have to actually touch each other.
Whoa.
You'll do your move and see how cool it looks, and then he'll do his move.
That'd be cool.
And then we'll like videotape them.
Yeah. We'll put it on YouTube.
Exactly.
Hey, but seriously though, we have simple requirements for the male person role, and that just entails emailing every single week without complaints, without excuses.
Ask some cool question and share your opinion on something else.
You don't even have to. You don't even have to do all the same stuff that Michael does. You don't need a tip of the week unless you want to. You don't need a dirty award unless you want to. You don't need. You can give Michael the dirty award every single week if you want to. You can give Tim the dirty award every single week.
I'm used to
if
it.
you want to. He's used to it. So whatever you want to do, come up with your own shit. So I mean, there's no real requirements other than you have to email every week, and don't complain about it.
And you get a no prize.
Well, I told Mary earlier. I told Mary Holmstein earlier that she was in the running to be the new weekly mail person, since Michael can't seem to send emails every week. She goes, well, I'm not trying to do that. Just kind of talk to nice people who have a little perspective on things going on at Disney.
Well, that's fine. I mean, she wants to email every once in a while. It's nice to have at least emails.
That's what it's for anyway.
Well, yeah, right now, though, we specifically obviously have Dan and Giselle definitely going for Michael's role.
I only did that by default. I just think the discussion is fun.
Well, I told her if Michael emails this week, then you guys will have to fight to the death.
Well,
and she said, believe me, no one that I know close to me cares this much about Disneyland to even have a discussion on it. I said, well, I guess that's true.
Conspicuous by his absence, though.
Right.
Unless you got an email hidden there, Diggs. Oh, here we go.
So, nonetheless...
shots fired.
I just told her to share the podcast in some new places, maybe.
Is Michael next?
Michael wrote an email, yes.
I am going to predict, first of all, that I am going to get the Dirty Award.
Oh, yeah.
That's my prediction. And that there will be a extensive rant about him losing the male guy moniker.
My prediction is that he didn't listen to the part where he's going to lose it, and that he's just gives us all the Dirty Award equally. Either that or it's me.
Okay, go.
All right, here's the email from Michael, the mail guy. And it says, Michael, the last mail guy here.
Uh-oh.
This is goodbye, but not for good, because you can't get rid of me. I will be signing off as the mail guy, as the main mail guy. I will send emails from time to time, but I got a lot on my plate as this kidney jumped is a major scare.
Yeah, for real. He had some health issues.
It's not because of Ratman or Tim.
So if anything, we're doing him...
You're Ratman?
If anything, we're doing him a favor by putting the male moniker up for grabs.
Wait a minute, what does this do with his fight to the death, though?
After my birthday weekend, it says, thank you, Diggs, for the birthday love. I got really sick. My kidney transplant number went up, and it's very scary. I had to go to the ER for 6 hours with many tests and blood work, and it's not good at this time. Appointment tomorrow, as we will see what happens from there. It says, last Friday was fun at the parks for my birthday. Met up with Diggs and just enjoyed the park. I finally ate some good corn dogs. I wish I had a cheese stick for my birthday, but oh well, Diggs can talk about that. So I met up with him, and basically what happened, I had to go do my shot, and I had to eat. Mm-hmm. So I said, well, they wanted to go somewhere. I said, you know what, I guess I have to eat. They're, oh yeah, let's go eat. What are you going to eat? I said, I want to go get a corn dog. We're at DCA.
And Michael said something about having only $3?
No, because his girl was paying for it, I believe. Oh. So anyway, we go to Corn Dog Castle, and I get my corn dog, and he wanted a cheese stick.
Which are very good, but it's like, which one do you choose,
Well, what happened was she forgot he wanted, then bought him a corn dog.
Oh.
So that's what happened. He wanted the cheese stick, but they got the corn dog, and he's like, she offered to go get him. He's no, it's okay, you know.
Well, then I think it's pretty obvious he should be the dirty award this week.
Oh, the dirty award goes to Michael's wife for screwing up his cheese stick order.
So that's what happened there. All right. I was going to SeaWorld on Super Bowl Sunday, but ended up going back to Disneyland for a surprise birthday buffet at Goofy's Kitchen. So he remember we talked about he was supposed to go to SeaWorld. So he went to Goofy's Kitchen. He says Tron Uncle in San Diego, which is we went to go see a movie with him and hung out at his place. He is in the hospital with his kidney problems as well, so that's why he didn't go over there. He says Goofy's Kitchen review: food was good, experience was good. Mad the food options were limited. I thought they would have more food for what I am paying, but I can't get mad because the food was good. I should have went to Steakhouse 55. He said back at the parks after the buffet and the second half of the day was getting empty. Half the people left to watch the game, and I'm sure people have school and work the next day. So he said he enjoyed the park half emptied. He says, I will be back at the park this Friday as a plaid, as I will be bringing my wifey's sister and family to the parks. He calls himself a plaid when he's a tour guide to his family and stuff like that. Fat Times on Friday with some more Lunar New Year food and more.
When he teaches them where all the restrooms are. That's what I do when I take people.
That's the main thing you need to know.
Right.
The good restrooms.
Yes.
No, West to pee, you don't want to use this one.
Don't forget to check the OC register for my interview about price increase. Speaking the truth, I will be upgrading to a signature this year. So yeah, we posted the article on the OC register posted about the price increase, and we didn't mention that Michael was in that article. All right, here's a question. What was your impressions of D23 Japan information they released?
It was like D23 Anaheim late.
Yeah.
That's how I felt.
Yeah, most of what they announced was just piggybacking on stuff that had already been announced.
Right.
It was just like extra things. It was like, okay, well, you know about Pixar Pier? Well, here's when it's opening.
Right.
You know about
the Guardians coaster.
You know about
it's going to be the longest.
You know, well, no, it hadn't been verified that it was a coaster. There was a rumor that it was a coaster. We just knew that it was an indoor attraction. So this verified that it was a coaster and that it'll be the longest. We got at least probably the biggest thing was the
we talked about the announcement coaster about a month or two ago.
The biggest thing was the announcement of probably the Ant-Man and Wasp attraction. That's was probably, I don't think that had ever been announced. And then obviously just expanding on things already to do with Galaxy's Edge, with the hotel in Florida, and then the artisan merchandise here and there.
Yeah, it really was nothing major. It's not like they got a ticket to go see Phantasmic or anything.
That's funny. All right, next question. Are we going to do a DuckTales review? I need one more episode to go.
I'm behind, actually.
I just finished it.
I wanted to talk about it a long time ago, but we never got around to it. We should do a whole show on that.
Or at least review it next week after Dan's gotten his
after I catch up.
He's gotten his catch up time.
Do you watch the Mickey Mouse shorts? This will be really short.
I did watch all the Mickey Mouse shorts up to a certain point.
Have you seen them?
What are you talking about?
How many are there?
There's a bunch of them, but do you ever watch the Mickey Mouse shorts? The ones that are like 2-3 minutes long? Because it dawned on me, there's a lot of references to the park in it. There's a whole episode that's about Rainbow Ridge, and then there's one that's very Haunted Mansion based. It dawned on me recently when I was watching them.
You ever talking about the ones with the really weird animation?
Yeah, the ones that are only like 3-4 minutes long.
I can't watch those. That's not Disney to me.
All right, next question is, when is the next MousePIRE meetup?
Good question.
Funny you should ask. We don't know.
We just have to find out when Dan's available.
Well, it was supposed to be...
Dan's not available until summer, unless you're going to do something on a weekend.
Well, it was supposed to be at Splitsville, but
let's do Splitsville.
We've gotten the bad reviews and...
Of the food or the bowling?
Well, I don't know, prices.
Yeah, the prices were pretty hefty.
We've gotten pretty bad reviews on the prices, so, I mean... It really depends. We might come up with something else, or we might still have a meetup there.
Everything's going to be expensive at the park to some degree. Either we're going to
but this was like, it was pretty crazy.
Yeah, but if we're going to have a meetup, we want to be able to do something we could do for a couple hours, not pay for 1 hour of bowling, like $50 for an hour of bowling. So
Right.
we want to be able to be there for a couple hours, not just hang out and just drinking water.
Ouch.
I'm sorry, ice water.
With lemon.
Lemon. With a little lemon twist.
All right, random questions. What is your favorite Michael the Mail moment on this podcast?
Yeah, I mean, having him at my house, eating all of our free
That's the
food.
one. That's the one that I was thinking when we were all there.
I'm going to say, yeah, I'm recording at Michael's house and having that nice
The kosher,
green room.
Yeah, the green room spread and
The kosher water.
the kosher water and all that stuff. It was always a pleasure to record at Michael's old place. That will obviously never ever visit the Rebel Base again.
And I also...
the Rebel Base has been evacuated in
Right.
case nobody knows
Right.
that the original Rebel Base that we used to record at with Michael has been evacuated.
And I want to say I appreciate him lugging the big old case here up the stairs, the 3 flights of stairs to go to his Rebel Base.
Right.
Now, Michael the Mail Guy's tip of the week.
All right, Michael's tip of the week. He says, don't miss Michael the Mail Guy's tip of the week. Listen to old shows as I have many good tips, and MousePIRE has great tips you can use today. I will be putting together an audio of all my tips, and I hope Diggs can play them when I finish it. Till then, this is Michael the Mail Guy saying bye. All right, so thank you for your emails, Mary, Jason, Gazelle, Jake from State Farm, and Michael the Mail Guy.
All right, here we go. Michael has officially relinquished his title as Michael the Mail Guy. He is now just Michael the occasionally guy with mail.
What?
So now the gauntlet has officially been thrown down. There is no more competition as far as Michael goes. Now it is officially between Dan, perhaps the mailman.
Oh wow!
Look at that! I already got.
That was good. That was good.
See, if you get it, I already got the nickname. Giselle, I have no idea what to do with that.
You said what'd you say last week?
What did I say last week?
You said Giselle the male gazelle.
Oh
yeah, yeah.
I did say that. It sounds
because you're like, what, female? And I was like, no, I meant like male, male. Yeah.
And then you've got doesn't want the male job, Mary.
Well, she doesn't count because she obviously doesn't want it.
Where's Nancy been?
Fancy Nancy.
I don't know where Fancy Nancy is.
So at this point, what we got a competition between Dan and Giselle. The only way I can really decide the winner is whoever lapses with no email first.
Ooh.
That being said, Dan is slightly off the hook, but the fact that he's here.
Yeah.
Now,
wait, did you send a message and you didn't send
No, I don't send a
no,
message.
he didn't say anything, but I am
Yeah.
going to put him on the spot because Michael was famous for always doing it on the spot.
That was going to be my thing that Michael does.
Michael always does it on the spot live email. So I want to put you on the spot.
Self-promotion machine.
I want to put you on the spot, and that you have to do basically a live email almost right now in order for you to still be in the running.
Uh-oh.
Otherwise, Giselle automatically gets it by default for you not having sent an email this week.
What would I have said this week?
What would you have said?
This week I would have said, hey guys, what's going on? Visited the parks on Sunday. Walked right in. Security wasn't a problem this time. I walked right up to Star Tours. Walked right on to Indiana Jones. Indiana Jones was different. There was some stuff that wasn't working. The stupid ball didn't work.
Oh.
The fire didn't go off in the thing. The snake wasn't working. Yeah. That was kind of a bummer. Walked right on to Big Thunder. And then, what else did I do? I did something else. Oh, Pirates, because it's almost time to say bye to the redhead. Do we have anything more? There's your question. Do we have any date now yet? It should be coming up soon for the redhead.
Should be coming up very soon. We haven't heard
nothing.
anything.
There's no refurbishment on the schedule for Pirates yet. So I'm going to say maybe April they'll go and refurb. That's just my guess.
Because usually it'd be about time.
Yeah, February
it could be real quick. I mean, it could be a 2-week thing though.
Yeah, but I'm just saying it's not on the list yet, and the list goes up to March. So I'm thinking maybe April.
I got stuck on Pirates.
I was going to say that right now.
Yeah, I got stuck on Pirates. I just sat down on the boat, but either way, I got stuck because it wouldn't let me off.
Oh, God.
And then we went through, and it was like, actually, it was slower than normal.
Did they have to get out and push you wearing
I know, I was going to...
the rubber overalls?
No.
Have you ever seen them do that?
Going.
It's hilarious.
What had happened was we were in the second boat, and the one in front of us, the boat wasn't weighted correctly. So I had somebody get out and go to a different row, like a group that was together. And then as a start and stop, and I was like, that's it. I was like, we're going down. We're going 101. Sure enough, shut the ride down. And then I thought we were going to go through with no sound or anything on, but no, it was slower than normal.
Crazy.
But it was kind of weird. But that's it. Back to the park. I'm probably going to go back on Thursday. I'm off this week. I haven't tried any of the food. So I'm going to try to get a couple things, try to get my button.
Button? Which button? The wrinkle button?
No, I don't care about the wrinkle button. The AP, one with Pluto on it or whatever. You're the
Are
dog.
those back? I heard they ran out.
They run it again?
I don't know.
I heard they ran out that they didn't have them last week.
That's me that told you.
Last
email.
Well, you told me all that, but no, I heard from somebody else.
It was all over the internet.
I heard from somebody else that was there Wednesday and Thursday last week that they didn't have them.
Dirty.
All right, so if you guys have any comments, questions, if you guys want to let us know what your favorite fireworks show is, all you have to do is email us.
MousePIRE@gmail.com.
.com. All right, don't forget to head over to patreon.com/MousePIRE. Help support the podcast. Any amount will do. Just like Fernando, Xavier Hubbard, Scott, and Fancy Nancy. And one more time, Fancy Nancy, where are you? We've missed you. Also, head over to YouTube. Check out MousePIRE Podcast on YouTube. There you can listen to our podcast. And another quick shout out to Tim the Tech, who uploads our podcast on YouTube. And he actually adds some videos, different sequences of videos that he's been doing. All I wanted him to do was put the podcast up there because I know he's like been working. And he right now he's doing these odd hours where he have to be at work at 4 a.m. and just doing these crazy things. So, but you know what? He just wants to go and add
I'm going to have to watch that. I listened to the podcast, obviously, on audio. I haven't watched it on YouTube.
Right.
This video sequences is worth a look.
Yeah, you should check out the video sequences. Are pretty cool. And he always makes something new. And, hey, check this out. So head over to YouTube, search MousePIRE Podcast there. And don't forget, while you're there, subscribe.
Do you have a special occasion coming up? Looking to personalize your trip with a keepsake? Create customized buttons for birthdays, engagements, family vacations, even bridal parties, or just because. Check out buttonsbydiggs.com today. Buttons by Diggs, Buttons by Diggs. Remember, those are buttons, not pins.
Well, that about does it.
Yes, it does. We appreciate you guys taking your time to listen to our podcast. And thank you for coming over, Dan.
Hey, thanks. It's probably the last time before summer.
Oh, that's bullcrap.
Oh, no. We're going to get you next week, too?
No. This work thing.
It
kind of sucks, but it's kind of cool.
I mean,
they pay me and stuff.
What time do you
I
get
can afford
off
my
work?
pass.
What time do you get off work?
I get off work at, contract time is 2:45. I'm usually out there by about 3:30.
So, I mean, if we wanted to have Dan on, we could, record in the middle of the day, right?
And Rialto's closer.
All right, don't forget, you guys need to just park at Toy Story parking lot because Mickey and Friends is just going to be all hectic and everything.
No, it's just fine. Park there.
Yeah, please, just keep parking at Mickey and Friends. Yeah,
On the left, just park your car in the flyover. On the 5. That's fine.
Just the people with the RVs, go to Toy Story and
you'll have to
park there because the other place is going to be closed. And if you guys need some Mickey Mouse home goods, go check out the home store. I'm sure Tim's going to be over there shopping. And no, you're not. You're
I
not
don't
going
know,
to.
maybe
I thought you needed a Mickey toaster.
Thursday, probably. If not,
I do
tomorrow.
want to go over there and see what they have. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, take some pictures, but I mean, other than that, I have no interest.
Yeah, I don't have interest in that either.
I need a new spaghetti strainer.
I wouldn't mind going over there to see what they have, like you just said. But I'm just thinking of they're going to have the same things they have in the stores in the Main Street and
Well,
stuff
if
like
they
that.
do that, then I don't know how they're filling up that store.
Well, yeah, exactly. You know what?
They might have a fine china collection, $28,000.
You never know, and they might even put in the dog stuff. You know how they have the dog bowls and all that. Yeah, so I don't know. I'm not expecting anything fancy over there.
The store's not that big to begin with. It doesn't take much. So, I mean, Hey, as usual, social medias and all that. Facebook, MousePIRE, at Facebook, at Facebook. Is there an at Facebook? No.
It's on.
It's on Facebook. MousePIRE on Facebook. At MousePIRE on the Twitters and the Instagram. I am, of course, at Dubax the number 4 life on Twitter. Check out my Twitter for all kinds of stuff and interests and whatnot.
His Twitterness
and
it was Twitter-pated
stuff. Twitter-pated, yes.
That's a good one. All right. I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Danzig77, DANSZIG77. I have my own podcast called the Extraordinary Culture Podcast. It should drop next week. Here's a Disney connection for you. This week we have a beer by the band Sublime, who played a lot with No Doubt, who's from Anaheim, and released an album called Tragic Kingdom. There's your Disney.
And reference. Also performed on the Tomorrowland Terrace at
and
Disneyland.
Also performed at my grad night at Disneyland.
Was that the only time they performed, or were they perform?
I think that might have been the only time. That was before they broke big. Okay, no.
Well, when was your grad night?
95.
They were there in 96 because I was there in 96 and I watched them.
They also did a couple grad nights pre-92. Also, when they were still just doing.
They were just no at that time.
Before the doubt.
Yes.
Oh, me social media? What? Tim Fresh One on Facebook. I'm the only one with that name, and there's a hyphen between the fresh and the one. That's
As we established last week, the hyphen does not stand for chicka chicka.
No.
That was funny.
Also, you should check out our fan page, Mouse Lovers 1313. Mary Holmstein that wrote in earlier is an admin there as well. And I could give you all sorts of stuff, but we'll stick with that for now.
All right, you can follow me on Instagram at Baloo1313, and you can follow Buttons by Diggs on Instagram. There you will see when your button order is going out. Also, don't forget to head over to patreon.com/MousePIRE. Help support the podcast. And check out our YouTube channel. Search MousePIRE Podcast. Subscribe. And you can listen to the podcast there also.
Hashtag buttons, not pins. Until next time, remember, Disneyland is your land, but you're not entitled to go there, and Walt does not have a grave to roll in. Get over it. So for Chloe Kim, Sean White, and Mariah Nagasu, I'm Anthony.
I'm Dan.
I'm Tim.
I'm Diggs.
Bye.
That's not how the Force works.
This podcast is intended for entertainment and informational purposes only. Audio, sound bites, and other clips are property of their copyright holders. All original stuff is ours and property of MousePIRE.com.
I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you, I'm not touching you.
Was that a cue for me to say something? I don't know. I thought I just said something.
I thought we were going to end it. Hey. No touchy. No touch.
In this week's episode, it's the end of the world as we know it. Oh, man. Yeah, I can't sing it. Also, Kim Possible, Greatest American Hero, Disney Home Store, and more on this Dan the Dan Dead Dan episode of the MousePIRE Podcast. I'm waiting to do that since he got here.
I'm addicted to porgs.
I'm not touching you.